I knew something was wrong the moment her laughter hit a different pitch, sharper, higher, almost triumphant. It was Sunday brunch, her favorite ritual. Sunlight slicing through the tall windows, everything too bright, too loud, too public. I should have felt safe here, surrounded by her smiling friends. Instead, the air tasted metallic, like the moment before a wound opens. She kept glancing at me from across the table, studying my calm face the way a thief studies a locked door. Then she said my name. Not softly, not lovingly, but as if calling me to the witness stand. Actually, I need to say something. The table quieted. Forks paused mid-air. Even the waiter slowed down, sensing blood on the brink. My chest tightened, just slightly. I didn't show it. I've learned to bleed inward. She tucked her hair behind her ear, performing innocence for an audience that didn't know how easily she burned through masks. "I'm officially calling off the wedding," she announced. Just like that. Light voice, casual tone. Then, "I don't love you anymore." A half smile, a practiced shrug, a soft, cruel little laugh to soften the blow for everyone except me. Her friends laughed with her, uneasy but obedient, as if betrayal was an inside joke they didn't want to be left out of. Inside, something in me stilled. Not shattered, not broken, stilled. A calm I didn't trust, yet welcomed, settled into my bones. And as all eyes turned to me, waiting for me to collapse or beg or break, I simply breathed once, slow and steady. "Thank you," I said, "for your honesty." Her friends exchanged looks, confused, disappointed. They wanted a scene. Instead, they got me, cold, calm, unmoved. But this moment wasn't the beginning. It was the final confirmation of a truth I already knew. It started with a simple slip, 3 weeks earlier. A late-night message that wasn't meant for me. Only 4 words. "He's leaving soon, right?" Her lock screen flashed the preview when she turned her phone too quickly. She laughed it off, blamed a coworker, kissed my forehead. But her lips were cold, detached, already somewhere else. I should have confronted her then, but my silence is a sharper weapon than anger. So I watched, quietly, carefully. I noticed how she guarded her phone like a newborn. I noticed how she showered before coming home. I noticed how her voice softened when she thought no one listened. There were other signs, small, dismissible, but cumulative, like frostbite. Her sudden insistence that we push the wedding date. Her increasing number of girl nights. Her fading enthusiasm when she said the word fiancé. But the worst sign was her eyes. They didn't avoid mine. They lingered, studied, measured, like she was waiting for me to catch up to the truth she'd already accepted. Denial is a slow poison. Mine tasted like patience. Because the story she was living behind my back, I wanted proof. Cold, undeniable proof. And when I finally found it, I didn't tell her, not yet. I let her believe she was still in control. I started with her phone bills, not her messages, her patterns. A 47-minute call at 2:13 a.m. A string of short calls right before she came home late. A saved number under a woman's name that didn't match the tone of any of the conversations I overheard. I never confronted her. I let curiosity disguise itself as trust. Then I found the hotel receipts. 2 nights, different weeks, always booked under her email. She claimed they were for work retreats. I didn't argue. Arguing gives too much away. Then came the final piece, an email she forgot to delete from her tablet. A reservation for a private villa for 2 aligned perfectly with her next girls' weekend. My chest tightened, not from heartbreak, but from clarity. Every piece clicked into place with surgical precision. I spent nights lying beside her, feeling her heartbeat, knowing half of her belonged to someone else. She slept peacefully. I stayed awake, planning. I didn't want revenge then. I wanted truth. Sharp, documented, unquestionable. But truth, when uncovered, has a way of demanding an audience. The evidence came in a neat folder from a private investigator who didn't ask questions. Photographs, videos, timestamps, everything I needed to dismantle the illusion of us. Her with him. The way she leaned into him. The way she kissed him. The way she laughed like she never laughed with me anymore. And the worst part wasn't the cheating. It was the familiarity. They moved like a couple rewriting a chapter they'd started long before I existed. When I handed her the folder 2 nights later, she froze. She flipped through the pages, color draining from her face. Her breath stuttered. Eyes watered. "I can explain," she whispered. I didn't respond. Silence is the most brutal answer. Her voice cracked. Her hands shook. She begged for words, even angry ones. But I had none to give. I had already detached. Which brings us back to Brunch. Her declaration. Her humiliation disguised as liberation. Her friend's laughter. My calm reply. I stood up slowly, pulled my chair back without a sound. The kind of quiet that steals attention. I reached for her hand, not gently, not harshly, just enough to slip the expensive engagement ring off her finger. A collective gasp spread across the table. I held the ring up, letting it catch the sunlight like a blade. Then I smiled, genuinely, almost warmly. "I'll be hosting a dodged a bullet party instead," I announced. Her friend's laughter died instantly, but I wasn't done. I leaned forward slightly, voice low but clear enough for every ear. "And you're all invited, considering you already know the guest list and the hotel rooms." Their faces drained. Hers collapsed. I placed the ring in my pocket and walked away. She called after me, not loudly, just desperately enough to confirm what I already knew. She expected me to break, to beg, to chase. But I don't chase ghosts. Outside, the air felt colder, cleaner, like the world had shifted an inch to the right, back into alignment. For months, I'd wondered how betrayal would feel. Turns out, it feels like clarity. As I walked away, I didn't think of her, or him, or them. I thought only of the quiet truth settling inside me. Losing someone who lies is never a loss, only a release. And I walked into that release without looking back.